Good morning and welcome to Teal House Farm. Today I'm going to show you a cheap and easy way to get seed started indoors this spring. So starting seeds indoors, you'll see a lot of opinions and things that you can do, and it gets expensive fast when you start thinking about grow lights and can feel a little bit overwhelming. Let me tell you that starting seeds indoors can be very simple, and you really don't need to get fancy at all to have good, healthy plants. You need water, some type of potting mix. There are lots of different types. You can spend lots of money on organic, non-GMO, fancy type potting soil. I literally buy the cheapest bag available at Walmart. You need plastic cups. The smaller cups work just fine. These are 9 fluid ounces. So you do not need the huge red plastic cups. Small cups work just fine. Remember, the bigger the cup, the more soil you're going to need. So this is more cost effective. You'll need some sort of tray, so that once you fill up your cups, you have an easy way to store them and move them around. You will of course need whatever seeds that you want to start inside. The last thing you need is something sharp. Scissors. This is a little eyeglass screwdriver because we need to poke a hole in the cup so that the extra water can drain out. Today we're starting something pretty random. This is called a cucamelon. I've actually never grown one. I'm pretty excited to try them. But the technique is the same whether you're growing tomatoes or peppers or cucamelons when it comes to starting seeds indoors. So why do we start seeds indoors, and what exactly helps me decide whether this plant needs to be started indoors or outdoors? The answer is really simple. You can't grow things in your vegetable garden until it stops frosting. And if you live somewhere where it doesn't stop frosting until April, that's a really short amount of time for things to grow. So if you could put the plant in your garden already started, instead of starting from a seed in April, you're going to be able to get your tomatoes or your peppers or your cucamelons a whole lot faster, and you'll be able to grow them and be getting fruit and vegetable for a longer period of time. What plants need to be started indoors? It's pretty simple. The seed packet tells you. So when you're looking at a seed packet in the store, if you flip it over, it'll have instructions for planting. If it's a good candidate for starting indoors, it will tell you when to start it indoors so you can get a head start, and it'll tell you when it's safe to plant it outside. And while we're talking about frost, you do need to know where you live and what growing zone it is so you can know when it's safe to move things outside. Below, I'm going to link a website with the zones and frost dates on a map. Real easy. Look for your area on the map of the United States, and you can decide which zone you're in and when it's safe to plant. If you aren't in the US, a quick Google search will help you find your zone for your area. Let's get started. First, you want to get your cups, and we're going to poke a hole on 2 sides of the cups, which lets the extra water drain out. You want to make sure you start more plants than you want to put in your garden, because chances are something might not grow, or something may start to grow and for some reason it dies. So I always try to plant about 25% more than what I think I want in my actual garden. It's a good buffer zone for when you probably do make a mistake and overwater or underwater, or you have a seed that just doesn't germinate. Next, we're going to add our soil. We're going to fill the cups all the way to the top, because after we put our soil in, we're going to add a little bit of water, and it's going to pack it down quite a bit. So fill the cups all the way up, then we're going to moisten a little bit before we put seeds in. Now we're going to plant our seeds. We're just going to take one seed and place it right in the middle of the cup. We're not going to dig it in, we're just going to lay it right on top. Now we're going to sprinkle just a little bit of dirt on top, and we're going to give it a little bit more water, and our seeds are planted. If you're starting many different types of seeds inside, I highly recommend labeling your cups. You think you're going to remember what you planted. I promise you, you will forget. So if you're planting multiple types, label them, because most plants look very similar when they first sprout. The final step here is obviously taking your seeds outside and letting them get some sunshine. The important thing to remember is the reason we are starting them inside is because it gets too cold at night and some days for the plants to thrive outside. Need to keep an eye on the weather, and you need to remember to bring your plants in before it gets dark at night. I set an alarm on my phone. I put my seeds out in the morning when the sun comes up, and then about 5 o'clock at night an alarm goes off on my phone and reminds me that I need to go outside and bring my seeds in before the temperature drops too much. And if it's just too cold, you can put them in a sunny window. My rule of thumb is if it's less than 50 degrees outside, the plants stay inside. I don't know if there's an actual scientific number, but that number works really well for me. So if it's 50 degrees or warmer, plants are outside bathing in sunshine. If it's cooler than 50 degrees, I put them in a sunny window in my kitchen. Stay tuned. We'll do a video later this spring on how to take the plants that have started here and transplant them outside into your garden. I hope this was helpful. Happy growing, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Catch you next time.